Okay, so a while back, I pretty much quit YouTube because last summer I didn't get to go on any trips that were based around roller coasters. So I pretty much didn't really enjoy talking about roller coasters as much. They kind of stopped being a hobby. I started playing guitar and I started fishing, and I love doing that instead. But this summer, my dad said he got tickets to Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Since he's a veteran, he gets them for free. And I said, can we go to Kings Dominion also since our Gold Pass version? And he said, yeah. So basically, we just took a trip right after my last day of school. I took 2 final exams, and we drove 5 hours up to Kings Dominion. The park closes at 8, and it was already 7:30, so I was super stressed. I was trying to get into the park on the same day that we drove up there. And if I got in, I wouldn't have very much time in there. I knew that because it was already 7:30 when we were pulling into the parking lot. But this was still awesome because it's been almost a whole year since I've ridden any roller coasters other than the ones at Carowinds. And I was just so ready to get inside. I was so excited. I was just running all over the place. So after I sprinted to get that shot of Dominator, we walked as fast as we could to the back of the park, straight to Pantherian. It was open, and I was so excited because I'm always nervous with Intamin roller coasters because you never know how their reliability will be. But I'm on a streak. Pantherian's been open all 3 times I've been to Kings Dominion, and I was so ready to get more rides in on it. I didn't know how many I was going to be able to get today because, short on time, but the line was really short, so I was just going to ride it as many times as I could. By this point, I was just ready to get on, so that's what I did. I just went and rode Pantherian, and it was insane. Now, 3 years ago when I was here, I was like, yeah, Pantherian's alright. I like Twisted Timbers more. But no, Pantherian's literally one of the best roller coasters. It might be my number 1. It's so hard to choose. It's so intense, and it's just so good. It's so good, dude. Right after my ride, the next train was cycling, so I got up, took a video of it real quick, and then went right back around, rode it again. And it was a little bit less intense, but it's still all good, dude. It's such a good ride. By this point, I was pretty sure it was my favorite Giga Coaster, but then I went around even more times, and I just kept riding it. And then, dude, on my 4th ride, we went up in the back row, got some crazy ejector airtime on the drop, and then we hit the first turn, where everyone almost blacks out. And as soon as we started to level out, I was graying out, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is about to be the most intense ride I've had on it. And by the time I got to the first airtime hill, my vision was completely black. It was insane. I don't know if I was fully unconscious or not because, you can't really tell if you are. But it was just insanely intense, and it was awesome. I love this thing so much. Then I went back around 2 more times, and by my 6th time going back around, my dad was like, I want to ride. And I was like, okay. And he was a little nervous, and I don't blame him. I was nervous too because this roller coaster is extremely intense, and he's ridden it before. But, the whole blackout thing's just insane. And this was by the 6th ride. And then we hit the brakes. We went back into the station, and the ride ops here were awesome. They started, being super energetic. And then they said we had to be real loud. And if we were, they would let us go again because we were the last train of the night. And they let us go again on Pantherian. And it was just awesome. The Pantherian ride crew was top 3 ride crews I've ever seen. They might have been the best. It's between Pantherian ride crews, Fury 325 ride crews, and El Toro ride crews. And all the members in that crew, I feel like a lot of times they're enthusiasts, and it's really just insane how good their dispatches is. There's also other really good ride crews. I don't want to miss anyone because, I can't remember it. Because I was really young when I went to Cedar Point and Hershey Park. I don't really. Oh, I know that they were just mediocre there. They were doing their job good. They weren't bad. I just didn't really want to leave anyone out. But anyway, I said to my dad, can we just walk around the park? I want to just take a look around because I never come up here. Park's closed. It's pretty much empty. my family, and there was only a couple other people in there. The streets are dead. It's only workers are cleaning up. This park is just beautiful, man. It's one of the most beautiful Six Flags parks. I hope this place never sells it, and I hope they keep the Gold Pass option to where you can come up here with Carowinds. My dad said if they keep the region Gold Pass things, we'll come up to Kings Dominion every year. And I would just love that, dude. Pantherian's just so good, and this park is just incredible. It's beautiful. One of the most beautiful Six Flags parks. It's so underrated. I feel like it's a top tier park. Everyone else acts like it's a mid tier, but it's just so good. And what's awesome about this, dude, is we still have a whole day tomorrow to keep going to Kings Dominion. We have all day tomorrow. And, you know, I'm so excited to get this whole trip. It's just going to be awesome. After getting almost murdered by Pantherian, I was feeling a little bit hungry, and my parents were too. So we were driving back to the hotel to put all our stuff up. And then we went to a restaurant. We decided to get a Mexican restaurant. And it was pretty good. I liked it. I like food when I'm hungry. That's about it. And it tasted good. I got steak and rice and guacamole salad. I got double rice because I don't really like the beans that much. And it was real good. And shout out our waiter. He was awesome. After we ate, we went back to the hotel, and that was it for day one at Kings Dominion. And then I woke up the next day, and I have a picture of Kings Dominion on my wall and a pool table in the lobby, and I was just so excited. I was playing pool with my mom and sister, teaching my sister how to shoot, even though I suck myself. And then my dad came down. We all ate breakfast in the continental breakfast, and I liked it a lot because it tasted good. And then we played some shuffleboard, and then we went to the park. We went through the ticket booth, parked the car. I saw Dominator testing, got some footage of that. And then it was time to go in the park after we did the national anthem. We went straight back to Jungle Expedition again, but this time not for Pantherian, because I needed to get the new credit Rapterra. And I heard that Rapterra gets pretty long lines because it's really popular for GP, you know, nice crowd pleaser. And, you know, first train of the day, I think, nobody on it. Me, my sister, my dad, we all walked up. We went on each side. We both got the front row. I got the front row left side outside seat. And I have to say, the left side is so much better than the right side. I did the right side. We rode Rapterra twice, and the time right after that, we went to the right side back row. And I will say that front row ride on the left side was so much better. Just because mainly on that horseshoe turn, I think that's what it's called, you get so high, and in the morning when it's not running fast, you get so much hang time. By this point, we got off our first ride of Rapterra. My dad said he was going to hang out with my mom. So we went back around, rode Rapterra again, like I was talking about, in the back right side, and it was much worse on the front left side. But after that, me and my sister were trying to decide what to do. She really wanted to ride Twisted Timbers, and I was like, okay. I told her that would be the same thing we did yesterday, and then I was like, oh my gosh, Pantherian's right there, dude. It's right there. So we went to ride Pantherian because it's just too good like that. Now, I wasn't sure if it was open because the trains looked so empty, but then we walked up and we saw the front row empty. I thought it was closed, and then I looked in the back 2 rows, and there was people riding back there, and I was like, heck yeah, front row Pantherian ride, and that's exactly what we did. Now, I just had to try it in the front because Giga Coasters feel so fast in the front. That's what I learned from Fury 325. Fury 325, its speed is almost too sustained. That's why I was excited to get on Pantherian, because on Fury, you can't really see what you're doing in the front row, and it just makes it, like, almost unpleasant, but it's not unpleasant. It makes it more intense. But I wanted to try it on Pantherian, and it was much better than the front row on Fury because it wasn't too much wind in your face. But I could tell it was running a little bit slow. My gray out wasn't as hard, and the airtime didn't feel as good, and especially the snip snaps, those just did not feel as intense, but it was still great to ride it in the front row with no weight. And then we had a long walk. Now, if you've been to Kings Dominion, you know it's shaped weird. It's shaped like a T. And to get to Twisted Timbers, we pretty much had to walk to the opposite side of the park. But, you know, it's worth it. Twisted Timbers is a great ride. Now, Pantherian's much better than I remembered, and now I think it's the best in the park. But Twisted Timbers is still a perfect second tier ride to have in this park. If it was in any other park, like 90% of other parks, it would be the best ride in there. And it's probably, no, it is still a top 10 coaster for me, I think. I'm pretty sure it's in my top 10, which just shows how good this park's top 2 is. And then after the ride, I went and checked my phone, got it out the locker. My dad said, "Where are you guys?" I said, "Twisted Timbers," and he said, "Oh yeah, I want to ride that now." So he came and we rode it again. And dude, it was just as fun again. The ejector airtime's insane. It's literally Steel Vengeance, but smaller. I wish this was at my home park. And I wish I was riding Twisted Timbers right now. And I wish I was riding Pantherian right now also. Imagine Twisted Timbers and Pantherian combined. That'd be insane. What my dad was doing before he rode was he was with my mom eating, and then when they finished, my mom went to the water park, and my sister also wanted to go to the water park. So she asked me, what else should I ride? And I told her, I heard Grizzly's running great, and last time I rode it, it was running great with crazy ejector airtime. I almost completely forgot about lunch. We ate lunch before we went to ride Grizzly, and oh my gosh, this might have been the best, like, Tex-Mexican restaurant, you know what I mean, like Moe's, Sauceritas, Chipotle, that I've ever had, and it's at an amusement park. I got a taco salad, dude, and they had barbecue, like carnitas, and it tasted like it came straight from a barbecue restaurant. I got that on it, and my sister doesn't like eating meat, I don't know why, so she got it on the side and gave it to me. Oh my gosh, it tasted so good, and it was loaded, dude. It was the most food I've ever had at a restaurant like that. No, most food I've ever had at a theme park. That was insane. So we went to Grizzly, dude, and it was running awesome. Like, the first ride surprised me a lot, because I remember last time getting crazy airtime on the drop, but I remember the rest of the ride being kind of boring and no airtime. But I was wrong, dude. The airtime on that was awesome. During the tunnel, dude, you feel like you're gonna hit your head on the top because of the airtime. So, you know, Grizzly was running good because of Gravity Group. Now, I know that you can't do this, but please, Six Flags, bring Gravity Group. Call them up. Use them on every single one of your wooden roller coasters, because they can go from boring to elite rides, some of the best in the park. Please do it to Hurler. Please. Kings Dominion is so lucky. They fixed Hurler by freaking RMCing it and making Twisted Timbers an elite roller coaster. And then they had a terrible roller coaster, Grizzly, and turned it into an awesome ride by using Gravity Group. Please, Carowinds, please put some ejector airtime on Hurler. That's all I want. I want more ejector in Carowinds so that I can just go straight from Fury to Hurler or whatever if it's RMC and get some ejector airtime. That would be an awesome thing for you to do, Carowinds. Thank you. Then we heard a worker tell my mom that you can get an icy with the drink plan here, and me and my sister were like, okay, we'll try it. And that was just awesome. I don't know if you can do it at Carowinds or any other Six Flags parks or not, but it was awesome to be able to have that because I had no idea that you could. So that was just cool, you know? After all that, we decided to take my sister to the water park since she wanted to go. And we were looking for the entrance because it's kind of hidden in a back corner. I knew where it was, but I didn't know which corner it was at. But after we found it, it was all cool. And then we had to find my mom because she doesn't usually answer her phone. So it's kind of hard to do that. So we went around the whole water park looking for her. She texted us earlier. She said she was at like a lounge chair at a kid's splash pad. So we went to that. But it was still hard to find her. So what I did instead was take a bunch of videos of Pantherian, because you can get really close to that support structure, and I think Pantherian is one of the best looking roller coasters because of that support structure. It just looks so cool. And then me and my dad went back towards Rapterra because he wanted to try it on the left side after I told him the left side's much better than the right side. So we went and rode Rapterra, but it was down. So we waited there for probably 5 minutes for it to go back up, and then it did. And I was really happy we waited for it to go back up, because while we were in line, like, the line got huge because that, like I said earlier, that ride's really popular. And the worker put us on the left side. We got lucky, and we rode in the second back, which is fine. And I could tell the ride got warmed up because there was no hang time over the horseshoe turn. Instead, it had more speed going over it. But either way, the left side's much better than the right side. So after Rapterra, we decided to go ride Pantherian, and it had a pretty decent line. We probably waited 15 minutes for it. That wasn't very long still, but I just wanted to ride it again because it's so good. After that ride, it was probably around 4:30. All the lines were going to be long, especially for Twisted Timbers. If it wasn't long, that probably would have been what I did. But I didn't really feel like waiting in line and putting my phone in a locker, so me and my dad just sat down. We ended up sitting down by Backlot Stunt Coaster, and it was down, so there was no line. And he said, when it goes back up, we're going to ride it. And I said, okay. So that's what we did. It went back up, and we got on the first train back row, and it was a pretty good ride. It's like a better version of a Wild Mouse, I would say. After that ride, it was probably 5 o'clock, and we could eat dinner. So we were trying to decide what to eat, and my dad just wanted to go somewhere close, but we ended up going to the pizza place on the opposite side of the park, and it still tasted really good. It was very good. I got a slice of pizza and 2 breadsticks, and I liked it a lot, and the views of Pantherian were awesome. It looked incredible. You know, after we ate, we were thinking about going back to the hotel for a little bit just to get some rest, and then we were going to come back to the park later, but I said, can I please go ride Pantherian one time before we go? So that's what I did. I went and rode it, and I got on it super quick. It was down, then I got in line and just walked right on. And let me tell you guys, this was my best ride on it on the whole trip. It was absolutely insane. I got the back row, and the drop had crazy ejector airtime. While I'm still at my seat, I had the most intense gray out I've had on it. Vision completely black. While my vision was still completely black, got ejector airtime, and it sustained over that big airtime hill. More positive G's, and snapped up, got more ejector airtime, and snapped back down. It's intense through every single turn, then you snap, graying out through every single turn, keep snapping. By the time you hit that trim on the airtime hill, when you hit that trim, it feels so good. It's like in thrash metal, when you have a really good breakdown in a song, you're like in a mosh pit going crazy, then you just, everything stops and you slow down. And the guitar comes in, and it's just a riff that makes you headbang so hard. That's what the trim on Pantherian feels like. After this, we met up with my mom and my sister. They came back from the water park, and we were going to go to the hotel. But we actually decided to ride some stuff with my mom. We rode Boo Blasters. My mom rode a flat ride in Planet Snoopy because she's scared of big roller coasters, you know. So we did that, and then it was pretty much just not even worth it to go back to the hotel because we wouldn't have time to go back. We'd just be driving straight back to the park so we could, you know, it just wasn't worth it. So we rode some stuff as a family, and then my dad said he was going to hang out with my mom at like a restaurant at King's Dominion or something. So that made it time for me and my sister to go ride Dominator. My phone was about to die, but I don't care, it was worth it because Dominator's I remember it being a great ride. And I don't know what happened this time when I was riding Dominator. You know, it looks cool and everything, but it was so much rougher than I remember. It had a bad rattle. It's still better than Rougarou, I think. The layout's better. You get some cool airtime over the mid-course. Actually, no, I did not get any airtime going over the mid-course this time. I did last time. So I moved it down in my rankings because it just wasn't as good as I remember. But it's still not a bad ride, you know. After we rode Dominator, it was probably 8 o'clock or 8:30. My dad texted me that the old cars, you know, I forgot what they're called, the ones that you can drive, were open, and my mom wanted to ride them. So we went all the way back over there, and then my dad said they were down. So we went over there, and then they said, don't worry about it. We don't even want to ride it anymore. So we went over there for nothing. So we rode Twisted Timbers instead. You know, after we rode Twisted Timbers, I don't know why my sister really wanted to ride Tumbili. You know, I absolutely hate 4D free spins. They just, I don't know what's wrong with them. So we went to ride Tumbili. I rode it for her, and it wasn't as bad as I remember because, you know, I don't really like the flipping seats. It just feels weird. So we got the seat that does not do the backflip right off the lift hill, and it was better. It wasn't too much, you know. I don't like getting dizzy on roller coasters. It needs to just be a normal ride. So it was a better ride this time than last time, I remember it. And then it was time for night rides, dude. My dad came back over and he said he wanted to get a Pantherian night ride. So we had to waste a little bit of time. So we decided to go ride Grizzly again at night. And Grizzly was just as good as this morning, if not a little bit better, because, you know, it was dark outside. And after Grizzly, we got a night ride on Twisted Timbers. And that was awesome because, you know, it was even more warmed up. So the ejector airtime was just insane. And then it was time for a Pantherian night ride. Now, I will say the other two roller coasters we rode, Twisted Timbers and Grizzly, it wasn't really that dark. But by the time we got on Twisted Timbers, the sun was pretty much below tree level, below the horizon. So that meant when we got to Pantherian on the other side of the park, it would be completely dark. And it was. Dude, we got to Pantherian, we got on the train, we were going up the lift hill, it was completely dark. I was so excited. And it was the exact same as all the other rides. It was just so intense and so aggressive. And the gray out made it even more crazy because it was dark outside. So you were graying out and it was already dark, so you couldn't see. And the ride was just absolutely flying by that point. We stopped in some stores on International Street. We looked and I got a Pantherian shirt because Pantherian is just that good. It's insane. And that was it for Kings Dominion. It really was a great time there. Kings Dominion is such a good park. I would put it in the elite category, and nobody would agree with me this. People would think I'm insane, but I like it more than Kings Island because it looks almost just as good. You got all the trees and everything. But then you have Twisted Timbers and Pantherian, the best 1-2 punch of all time. It's literally the best. My second favorite Six Flags park. I have this and Cedar Point. Those are my two favorite. I like Cedar Point more, but this park is still insane. And I'm just so happy that Kings Dominion, I'm just so happy with my visit to Kings Dominion. I want to go back so bad. I wish I was there right now. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. And then tomorrow we have Busch Gardens Williamsburg. And if you want to watch that, click this video right here. Goodbye, guys.